Now, if you were to jump back, say, 2 years ago and mention the name Guardians of the Galaxy to any non-Marvel obsessing fan, they'd probably have no idea what you were talking about. So notoriety is probably not what rose this sci-fi comedy to the top of the charts. What was it? Well, let's find out. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy was not always the same Guardians we know today, making their first comic appearance in 1969's Marvel Superheroes number 18, featuring none of the characters we see in this movie. Except Yondu. Yeah, that guy. It wasn't until 2008 that the familiar characters we know today made their first comic book debut. To put that into some perspective, Iron Man 1 was coming out in theaters at the same time Guardians of the Galaxy, the comic book, was being released. So this certainly wasn't any big iconic tale waiting to be told with people signing up to make a movie adaptation happen. I mean, with the main characters consisting of a raccoon and a tree, it was so weird people didn't even know they wanted an adaptation. But Marvel did. And when Marvel wants something, they get it. So they go out and get director James Gunn, known for his wonderful horror movie Slither and that writing credit for Scooby-Doo 2. Casting the main hero as that fat guy from Parks and Recreation, it was off to a pretty good start, right? But what studio has the faith of millions of people worldwide? Marvel. And Marvel follows through, creating North America's biggest August opening of all time with 94.3 million and the worldwide gross of 620 million. My God, that's a lot, isn't it, Joe? Right, Joe? So what made Guardians of the Galaxy work? This is the review section of the video. So if you do not value the opinion of a 16-year-old, it's best you leave now. Just keep in mind that it'll hurt my feelings. So I think what it all boils down to is the diversity that existed in the film. You have things like the science fiction theme throughout, the superhero action, the comedy. It really just makes it a well-ranged movie and makes it appeal to a larger audience, which is what I think is what makes a movie successful in the first place. All the characters are fantastic. You got ones like Groot and Rocket, who were especially hard to pull off, but I think they were very successful in the end. You have Star-Lord, a Han Solo-like character, delivering sass and humor throughout. Gamora, who is the badass female member of the group, played by Zoe Saldana, who is fair to look at. And Drax the Destroyer, giving some of what I think are the best lines in the entire movie.
Metaphors are gonna go over his head.
Nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
Best written lines in America cinema. Now, having good characters are always a plus, but what really makes it work out is the chemistry between them, which is what this movie has. Good chemistry. I'll tell you, some of the best chemistry I've ever seen. The main element that makes this movie work? The comedy. Now, comedy is a touch that Marvel has been giving every one of their movies for a long time now, kind of separating them from DC's movie universe, where they're always sad and they can't really crack a smile.
My parents are dead.
Now, the comedy is really consistent throughout, kind of making it a comedy-based movie. If I had to make one complaint, which I always do, is the villain. I'm not saying that Ronan is a bad villain. I think he's still very cool. However, compared to a villain like Loki, he is kind of uninteresting. For example, what I think makes an interesting villain is someone who you can really sympathize with, who's it's just a more complex character. Now for Ronan is all lawfully evil. I will kill you because of the Kree treaty and because I'm blue and evil. And Loki's more, ooh. I think Ronan is just not that interesting of a character. Alright, in conclusion, that is what I think of Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it was an amazing film. I thought it was a great film. I thought it was a funny film. I also really give it props for being more unique as far as superhero movies go. Honorable mention, the music in the movie is great. Using a lot of 80s pop songs, really giving the movie just a little bit more character and flavor. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the pointless opinion of a 16-year-old. I hope it was at least a little educational in the beginning. And I'm done. The main element that makes this movie work is the comedy. Now, comedy is something that every single child should have in their homes. The characters were fantastic, including the ones... Just spit. Characters were fantastic. You got ones like Root, Brockett.
Wait, I thought your one criticism was